the light. And oh my goodness, let me tell you something. It is some winter out there. I wanted to so over on Vermont Sun and Shade, I share with you um, a little bit of, I take a walk in the snow, the way it's snowing right now. It's still coming down at a clip. It is well after 1 right now, and I was out there probably around 10, so it started about an hour, I think, before. So it's been coming down at about good 4 hours at a heavier rate. Last night, the snow seemed to be very fine, and I didn't see where it was icy, maybe just a slight bit of ice, but I didn't find any significant ice on the car. So with that, I want to share with you. I am doing multiple things to prepare for my needle felting class Thursday. Now I have to tell you, today in Vermont, there's a lot of businesses closed. Even the banks have closed today. They started out at like closing, like they were going to open later, and they ended up closing. It's because it's just getting worse and worse. I took probably over a foot of snow off of my car. I don't even know where to put it now. I'm kind of running out of room where to shovel the snow. So with that, I wanted to jump on here. So I want to welcome everyone who are new to Echo Art with Carmella-T. We create with recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. There is so much information that I've gained over the years that I can really only share with you clips, just a bit of it, like tips, significant tips at a time while I am working. I have found that the best way to do it. So, but by working with natural fibers such as wool and recycled fibers, we really do help our earth significantly. And by diverting waste that goes into the landfill and using extra fabrics we may have to make functional. Hey, my feet are still cold from being outside. That's why I can't talk. If that doesn't make any sense, but I'm just saying it because my feet are cold. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I can't talk. By the time my feet warm up, I have to go back out there and clear my car off again. So I hope everyone is safe in this storm. I know Tennessee got hit really bad, Mississippi too. Anybody here from the southern states where you got ice? And hi, CapCut and Chris. Hi. Hi, guys. I know, right? I mean, you know, if you don't laugh about this stuff, you're just going to crack up at some point. It's like, laugh. That's something one significant lesson I learned. Many significant lessons I learned from my beautiful mother, artist and mother. She was an artist, like me, doing all kinds of art, but not to take things too seriously, because there will be things that you do really have to take seriously. So for the most part, for the things you don't have to take seriously, don't take seriously, you know what I mean? Okay, so with that said, if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I think you're going to like this. If you guys are needle felting, are there any needle felters out there right now with us? Okay, so, well, maybe you'll scroll by. So as you know, as a needle felter, your organic fabrics are the fabrics you're going to be able to needle felt into your wool. Let's say you want to, you're needle felting raw wool, and you want to add some other fabrics, you want to make some designs. So your natural other fibers, such as your silk, your cotton, these are the type of, it's got to be at least 60%. If it's 60% cotton, silk, or wool, most likely you're going to be able to needle felt it into your wool piece, whatever it is you're doing. So this afternoon, what I'm doing is I am preparing, when I have a class, what I like to do is really truly inspire them. Like, I know many of the artisans coming in are, like, they wouldn't be coming in to learn at a workshop with me if they're well versed in whatever it is they're doing. So they come in wanting to learn. So I have books I'm going to show them, and just to give them ideas on what mixed media is, because that is what our class is actually Thursday. Now, I understand it's a full class, but I really do want to throw this out there. If you are in the area or you're interested in the class, let them know, because we can always repeat a class. We can. It's no problem. And I have gotten to the point where I've had like people ask me, like 1 or 2 persons, like kind of not like private, but they kind of are private, like a tutorial type deal, whether it be in crocheting or boro. And yes, I would totally contemplate that. Actually, we have a venue. I have discovered that there's certain, hi Brent, thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. There's certain venues I can go to, like for a cafe, for about an hour, and you know, as long as I and the other person that I'm teaching is getting a cup of coffee, it's totally fine to sit down and not causing havoc in the place that we're in, just talking quietly, and I can instruct and talk and help them. Oh, somebody said something they're not supposed to, huh, Grayson? Well, I'll tell you, I think YouTube gets really good at cutting some of the people out who I mean, I think of it like this. I'm just gonna say this. If you're out in the public and you say some of the things that you're saying, like on YouTube, you be in real big doo-doo. You know what I mean? It's not good. I could never say anything to hurt somebody. So what I say is they should move along. Like, they shouldn't even be here, right? So if they're not happy. But anyway, thank you so much, Grayson. So with that, guys, we are doing very simplistic needle felting, but I want to share with you. I have many things that I will be teaching this class, and after the class occurs this week, I will come back on here for the needle felters, and I will share with you the many things that we covered in the class. Now, I'm trying to be very careful with this particular class, because this is mixed media, and I could teach them, seriously, I could go on for hours and hours and hours teaching them many different techniques and ideas for mixed media. So what I'm doing is filtering it right down to about a half a dozen. That's it, because we really don't have that long. So I'm going to filter it down to a half a dozen. This is one of the, I love to have examples for them before I start talking about a certain technique. So I'm going to put the camera down so you can see. This is one of the samples I'm working on. I'm just going to hold it up. So this is a piece of wool sweater that I ended up taking apart. I cut the sleeve because I wanted to make it into a vest, and I did. And it's pure wool, 100% wool. This is so scratchy that I can't wear that part of the sweater on my arms, on my sleeves. So this is a doily right here. I had gotten a bunch of doilies a long time ago from the thrift shop. Now when the doilies are really old, like this, these are very old, kind of antique-y, vintage vibe going on. They're gorgeous. This is most likely real silk. It feels like real silk. The embroidery that you're seeing in there is most likely cotton. So it's probably 100% cotton. And that's why this is needle felting so beautifully on here. So I'm going to show you that because I had just started it, and I said, well, wait a minute. Let me go to my YouTube community for those who are the needle felters and they're interested in their needle felting, and share this with them. So I'm just taking a you can see right through that, like a web of wool. And the reason I'm only using a web is I want this beautiful, beautiful piece to show. I want to showcase this piece. So let me put this down and I'll show you here. So I'm just simply, I'm holding this up for you because I want to show you how I'm needle felting. So I'm just very gently needle felting the wool around the edges, you see, and onto the doily. Now typically I would put it down like this and kind of hold it more securely. So this hand is kind of, you know, holding it down, and my other hand is holding it down too. So now there is another technique. We're going to keep working on that. So, hi, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I think a lot of people probably have today off. If you have to go out and work, please be safe. So this is needle felting or dry felting. Another way to adhere this silk piece onto a piece of wool would be wet felting. And a small piece like this you could do in your house or apartment. When it gets to the larger pieces, which I used to do rugs, because I had some sheep, and when they would get shorn, I was just so elated to have all that wool, and I wanted to use it. Oh, good, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I am here in Vermont, and if you check out my Vermont Sun and Shade channel, it's called Vermont Sun and Shade. It's a second or third channel. It's like I have multiple channels. But that one, guess what? I walked around today out in the snow, and it's still snowing at the same rate. I mean, it's coming down probably an inch an hour. It could be more, to be honest. Now, I just want to show you. You see here how it's going into the wool? It will do that right away if it doesn't, it means it's not a natural fiber, and it's not going to needle felt. You'll know right away, like you'll have a hard time. So I'm going to lift this up. You see how the fibers have gone through and hooked into the wool? So the raw wool fibers are hooking into the wool sweater fibers. And that's what's holding it on. So I'm going to go all the way around with that. And so, you know, this, for those of you who make and sell, seriously, these doilies at the thrift shop, people don't want them because they don't know what to do with them. There's very few arts and crafts that you can do with these that are significant or substantial. But this one right here, when you I'm going to show you in a minute what you can do to adorn this, because you can do a make and sell. You're taking your thrift shop doily. Now, what a lot of people are doing, they're taking, and I'm not, you probably already know this, they're taking a piece of fabric that they like, and I'm not judging this at all, because art is art, and I've thought like that too. I'm like, God, what a beautiful piece of fabric. I wish I could keep it. But they're putting it in a frame. That's it. They're putting it maybe on cardboard or gluing it on canvas. I'm not kidding you. And that's it. And they're selling it. So then that piece of textile is in a frame and they're selling it. So you can do the same. We got a little bit more here to do once we get this adhered. Probably what you want to do with a piece like this also is to make sure it's adhered really, really well. You want to, I'm going to show you in a moment, go on the flip side of it. So flip it like this, okay? And all of these raw pieces sticking out like that, you kind of want to do what they call a little comb and sweep. And you're just reinforcing them. You're just moving them. You're not jabbing them or needle felting them right back to where they were, but you're sweeping them, like edging them to the side a little bit, and then needle felting. So they're kind of folded over and being needle felted in that way. So that's something I would take a little bit more time to do, but that adheres the front of it. And then if there is anything that's popping back out this way, you just just check it out really well, go around. Now I still have a little bit here, but you can see how the rest of it, this is your sewing needle. This is like a sewing needle, your needle felting needle. So we're going to add a little bit more wool here, and kind of close up the sides here. And then I'm going to show you, I'm not quite done with this piece, but I really, really wanted to share it because I don't think people realize and it's not necessarily, like, I don't want to say value, but in my view, a piece like this it's becoming a historic piece. It's an antique. The vibe is vintage, antique-like, and so, somebody may say, well, you can sell that like as an antique. But the thing of it is, as you know today, value of something like this is not, like, people can't, how shall I put this? The majority of people today are focusing on the basics, okay? Shelter, food, transportation. There's very little left over to go and invest, let's say, in a valuable collectible. This isn't considered a valuable collectible, but to me, it's a sentimental, very artistic, and a sample of historic art. So some people would say, well, why don't you just take that and put it in a frame? Why are you putting holes in it? Well, we're not really putting holes in it in the way of just putting holes in it. We're creating a piece of art with it. We're taking it and creating a piece of art. And we're preserving, because I actually want to put this even more, but I want to use the white for the moment, but we're preserving the artistry of it and the vibe by attaching it to another piece of fiber that actually is vintage. This is also a vintage piece of fiber. It's vintage. And this is gorgeous. I'm loving this. Okay. But yeah, this is like a make and sell. So it's not complete, but look how beautiful that is. And what I'd like to do is kind of even this out a little bit here, bring it out a little, you know, kind of make it a little bit more even, I might say. And this is with the back. You know it's working when it's going through the back. Okay, so a piece like this, let me just show you. There's so many opportunities to make this pop. I actually have a very specific handle that I made, and I probably, let's see if I can find it. Well, I can't find it, but that's okay, because I want to show you something else. So I want to, as I'm designing here, I'm kind of designing with you, and hi guys. So I want to take, this is a piece of twine. So it's crocheted. It's a piece that I crocheted. So it gives me kind of an ancient, authentic, definitely handmade type of vibe. So I want to take it, and I'm just picturing it on here. I feel like I want to put a knot in that. I don't know, I don't know, I feel like I want to put it somewhere like on here, you know what I mean? Maybe down here, like up here, something like that, just to bring out the rustic vibe that I'm getting from this. Now, I am looking for a specific piece here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. So what I'd like to do with this piece, and this I'll do this after I get off probably, because I am going to do a little more designing. So check this out. This is a handle that I had actually on the bowl. So I took the bowl apart. This bowl was in an exhibit with lots of different pieces, needle felted pieces that people could pick up out of the bowl and touch them and look at them, and they did, and it was a successful piece. But I've decided I want to take it apart, and because I want this handle. Now this, check this out. Like you could put that on there like that, or you could put the handles in the back. Actually, I personally like them in the front. And so the way you would do this is, because wool, you can sew through wool, is just kind of sew these ends right here onto this piece, and then needle felt, like needle felt the wool around the piece of wood onto the piece of wool. Okay, isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's really cutesy. Okay, and so that's what I wanted to do, was I wanted to jump on here and share with you a little bit of my preparation. Now, so that's a sample that I'm going to show the class. And this would be considered what you call mixed media, because you're using very different pieces to create a piece of art. You're using different materials to create a piece of art. Now, with that, I am also getting together And I'll be sharing this with you. I'll be sharing this with you at the end of the week. I'm getting together all kinds of shells. And the shells I will be using to create what they call a shibori piece. And there's multiple ways you can do shibori. And I'll be sharing that with the class, but I'll be coming back on to share with you also. So I hope that this inspires you a little bit to, if you get to the thrift shop, whenever the storm reminds me of Stephen King's Storm of the Century. Just because it's not stopping. Anyway, with that, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Let me know if you have a piece of fabric, if you're trying to needle felt it onto another piece of fabric, whether it's wool, cotton, or silk, and how that is going. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. So with that, guys, you have a beautiful day. I will most likely see you in the next day. Love and light.